Hello folks and welcome. So Debian 12 Bookworm. So today's video is about simple backups. And you go to Synaptic Package Manager and you're trying to decide on a backup utility or an application. Well, I'm going to show you a very, very simple way of doing things. And a lot of Linux distributions have this utility built in or installed, but you can certainly install it. So let me first get this out of the way. This is Debian 12 Bookworm Xfce Desktop, and you can see the kernel info there. So you went to Synaptic Package Manager and you are trying to figure out what's a good application for a backup. You got your files here, you populated them with stuff. I got documents, I have maybe some music and some pictures. All right, so I'm trying to decide how am I going to back this thing up? I already have a backup drive. It's ready to go. It's formatted already, and I want to back this stuff up. Well, I can tell you one good application you can use is Grsync. It uses rsync, remote sync. You can also write yourself a script file. That's what I did here, and I'll show you that from scratch. It only uses 3 or 4 lines, and it'll copy all 3 of those folders at the same time. Well, sequentially, but all I got to do is double click. So let me start with Grsync. So Grsync uses rsync, as I pointed out. Rsync is remote sync. All right, so let's find out the definition of rsync. Once you have this installed, you go through Synaptic, you install Grsync, it installs rsync. You can also just install rsync by itself if you want to use script files only. Let me make this larger for you. So Rsync itself is a fast, versatile, remote, and local file copying tool with lots of options. I mean a whole lot. I'm only going to show one simple one today. All right, so in general, this under default conditions is blank when you open up Grsync. All right, just wanted to point that out. These are shortcuts that I have in here. So you have your basic stuff in here. You got your sessions. These are the shortcuts. And basic options, advanced, and extras. As a matter of fact, just keep the basics. If you want to play with those, just do a screenshot. You can read all about it. But in general, you're going to be doing a source and a destination. So Sam is our user for today. So Sam has some documents, some music, and pictures in mind. So I'm going to do this one at a time. So I can open the source, which in this case is documents, and hit open. It gives me the path. And then where am I going to put this? Well, I have this nice USB backup drive sitting here. Maybe it's a thumb drive. Maybe it's an internal hard drive. I have one of those too. But nonetheless, make sure you have enough capacity on these things. So click that. Click the destination. So it's copying documents to USB back 1. And all I got to do is hit the play button and it starts copying and it's successfully done. If you hit it again, it'll just say completed because it's nothing to do. Now the beauty of this is because it's already made the backups is in case you, the user, decided to alter a file in here. You changed something. You added a file. And I'll just throw some text in there. It doesn't matter what it is. I'll say yes. So I have an extra file called Hello World. It's currently not reflected in here though. But as soon as I hit the play button again, it will put that file in there and not duplicate the rest of these. It's finished. So the Hello World file got created so quickly is because it didn't have to recreate all of these. It knows that by the attributes of the files. That's what makes rsync very fast the second time around. And I'm not stuck with just documents. I can make shortcuts. So you hit the source and destination and you hit the plus key. It turns into something like this. That would be documents to USB 1. I'm just giving it a short name. This will be music to USB 1, and this will be my pics or pictures to USB back 1. and hit the play button. Now it's making copies of that, and you can see the progress bar. Okay, you can even look at it this way, but it's already finished. So it's using a command line that looks like this. Now the next example I'm going to show you is this one right here. I'm going to be doing the same thing as I'm doing one at a time in here using rsync. But what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be using a single file to do 3 folders. So let me do the music one also while I'm in here, just to give you the full example. Now you can see that depending on how big these files are, this is actually music. It's going across there. You can see they're MP3s. It's however much data you have here is however long this takes, but in general this is very quick. Depending on the speed of your USB device, whether it's a solid state drive or a spinning hard drive, for instance, it'll all depend on that kind of speed. But in either case, it's finished with 3 folders. This is Grsync, very simple tool to use. I'm going to erase all 3, so it's a fresh slate. Then I'm going to run this one, and then I'm going to show you the file that created this. So this you can do yourself. So if you don't want to install Grsync, you wanted to install rsync by itself, you can do your own script files. So nonetheless, you can see that it's finished. Or it's still in process. It creates the primary folders, then the innards, all the information inside. Does this still work if I decided to go to Sam's folder? Let's see. I'll add a subfolder in here. So let's say Sam bought some new music, new album, very popular. Never mind, just a dry sense of humor there. So new album's been added to Sam's music folder, and I'm going to re-replicate that. It's actually done. There's the new album. It didn't have to replicate all this. You see how quick that was? All I did was double click on that, and it's already made a backup of this. The reason for that is because it didn't have to duplicate all of these again. But nonetheless, this file, which is located right here, I'm going to do a Control N. Sorry, I'm just trying to get another window open. All right, let's do it this way. I'm going to go to Sam's home folder and point to this file here. So it's located right here. So this was done using a text editor. You can use whatever text editor, just don't use a word processor. That's what's in here. I'm using mousepad. Let me make this larger for you. All right. The only thing that you got to worry about if you've never done this is how to type bin bash. Pound, exclamation point, no space, /bin/bash, born again shell. That's it. Now you can put in your rsync lines, however many you want. So rsync-a versus this one here is using rsync-r-t-v:/progress-s. I'm not using that. I'm using the archive bit only. The archive bit is also very powerful. All right, let me delete all this. So basically what I'm doing is rsyncing, remote sync, using the archive only. The tilde documents just means home folder, in this case Sam. That's the source. I put in 1 space in here, and some folks may want to put in 2, that's whatever. At least 1 space in here. And then what's the name of your source? Destination. In this case, that. And you can actually highlight this whole line and copy that and bring that into your text editor. So you don't have to type the whole thing. So it's Media Sam USB Backup 1. That's the name of that device. Documents, pictures, and music. Got to be spelled the same way. Documents, music, pictures. 3 folders is what this is copying. Okay, since I was playing with this, I'm not going to save anything. So one more time. All I did was create that, right-click, Properties, Permissions, allow this to be run as a program. This is my user for today, Sam. All right, so make yourself send that as a link to your desktop. Then you can just double click that and it starts making backups. Same deal, if you are making changes in here, or whatever folder you choose, it's going to replicate that also. If you make changes, you re-replicate. And keep in mind that once it's finished though, and you redo this, it's got nothing to do. You can double click it and it won't do too much of anything other than verify that the documents, music, and pictures folders match Sam's in this case. Now I'm going to switch things up. I'm going to actually click my backup drive for a second. Let's just see that. Okay, this is an internal hard drive. It's an NVMe. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to that folder. I'm going to leave this link. I'm going to edit this file. You can do the same, and you can create 2 more of these things if you like, or just use the same file. So let me blow this up again to make this larger for you. All right, so what is this next device called? Backup. You can see it here also. I'm going to click that and leave this open. So I'm going to grab a hold of this line here because I want to make a copy of my documents going over to the backup drive instead of the USB drive this time. However, I'm going to cheat and go right click and copy. Click on the last line, hit enter, and hit paste. Or you can hand type it all in there. However, what I'm going to do is change the tail end and to backup. And it's spelled with uppercase letters. So let's make sure that that matches up, and it looks like it is. And anytime you should do this, you should verify these things also. Now before I close this, I want to save this file. So on this next pass that I'm going to show you, I'm still going to use the same link. It's going to rsync the documents, pictures, and music to USB back 1, and then rsync documents again to the backup drive. Save and close and run. I'll leave this open, and I'll leave this one open here. It's already made a copy of my documents folder. It's that quick. It's still verifying these on the other drive at the same time. Do you see the versatility of using a file like this? Hopefully you can see that. Now, again, for you folks that don't want to write a simple script file like this, again, this is done with a text editor. I now have 4 lines. You can put as many lines as you want. So if you got multiple folders in Sam's directory, you want to copy all of these, I would do them individually though, and not the home folder, because your home folder also contains what? Hidden files and folders. Some of these cache folders are huge. FYI, Control H. You just want to probably just copy what's important to you. And you can do it to multiple devices using one file if you want. You can also make 2 of these, one for one specific purpose of that drive and the other drive. Lots of choices. Grsync for the folks that don't want to write script files. Script files for the folks that just want to install Rsync all by itself and write their own. Hopefully you've found this of value. Thank you for watching.